You, Carole. Welcome, first of all, to your birthday week. It's a very special week, and we are in Virgo season. So yeah, it is a very, very special week for you this week, and I'm excited to be part of it. And I prepared myself. So your birthday is on the 23rd of September, and this means you are a life path 31-4. So if you calculate each and every number together, you get a 31, and then you make like a dash, and then it's the essence is a 4, and the 4 gives you an example about what you have to master here in your lifetime, as well what you chose to master. I'm very convinced that we choose our life path and we choose what to master, and the 3 and the 1, they give you a very good opportunity to check in how can you master the energy of the 4, because at the end numbers are just energies as well. So how can you live the 4 in a balanced way? So we have to each and every number a balanced expression and an imbalanced impression energy. So it's very important that we always can fall out of our balance, but when we know a strategy how to come back, we come back. So there's actually no struggle anymore, and everything is fine. So what does the 4 mean? The 4 is the builder and nurturer, and actually you are here on the earth to build a big business. This is your thing, actually, building and nurturing, and you do it step by step. You do it with commitment. That is the essence of the 4. But the 4, the task of the 4 for this lifetime is it to develop emotional stability in public life versus private life. And as they are the 4 loves business, and they tend to lose themselves into business, so their private life could suffer from that. So they have to master this emotional stability. And for the 4, it's really important to master as well, to build step by step, not to skip steps. And the primal fear of the number 4 is not to be needed or to fall out of the ordinary. And there is a beauty that you have the 3 in your life path, how you can work on that fear, which can as well be reflected to your business, fall out of the ordinary. You are a woman, you are now in your age building your own business. I'm not sure how long, when did you start your journey to build your online business? How long are you working on it?
So it really, I was a lecturer before, and I quit lecturing about 6 years ago now, when I finished my master's. And then I 7 years ago now. And I then started I created my own consultancy business, and then I worked for large organizations like the UN. And then I kind of had it didn't really align with all my ethics. I didn't like the way that they were working. So I then created an online teaching platform for women entrepreneurs in developing countries. And of course, I did that because I've got a very kind of Mother Teresa, Jesus Christ side to me. Let me save the world. And of course, I just created a product for women who didn't have money to pay what I needed them to pay. So it worked. It worked very well, actually. Right at the beginning, I enrolled a lot of women from Peru. Actually, that was my biggest market.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened. And it kind of stopped everything. And to be honest, it kind of started to stop a bit before that. And then during COVID, I had to reinvent and do something completely new. So the thing that I'm doing now, I really started No, I mean, not that long ago, really. As it is now, only about maybe like 5-6 months ago, at most. It kind of evolved last year through a few stages of different ideas and going through every single idea, and then having this thing, a more kind of package things. But yeah, I would say at most 6 months ago.
Yeah, and that's very interesting because you were mentioning that you did it like more for like a higher purpose, not really money oriented, and you were working with women as well who didn't have the capital. And this is actually, that's the energy of the 9, so your birth month, and your birth month is connected to your roots, so to your family. And I guess that there are some beliefs around money, especially when it comes now to your self-expression in business, that there are some beliefs which are deep rooted in your family that making money is maybe not good, or you need to work hard for money, and
we don't it's actually a belief that we are poor. I grew up in a belief that we're poor, although we were not, but it was very much of a belief of hard work. You've got to work hard, and also you don't, where I come from, you don't deserve money. You don't speak about money, and it's a very small farmer mentality, where you make money, but you hide it from everyone. You save it. You don't spend it. It's very, very, very rooted in. And there is always a thing about scarcity, about money is going to run out, so you must put it away in case something happens, and it is only to be spent. My parents only started spending money when they got into retirement. So they waited all their life, and now they have a nice life. But there is this thing, like, you don't spend anything, or you spend on one thing that's expensive, and then that's it. And then you wait for another year, and it's kind of what I do. I can spend 6 months without spending a penny on me, and then bang, I will buy something, and then not spend anything, and then I will buy something. Very much so.
Very interesting, because you have the number 3 as well in your life path number, and you have the 3 in your birth date. And the 3, actually, they are not the best with keeping money together, but therefore you have the 4. Like, the 4 is really good in saving and accumulating money, but the 3 energy is a very flexible and adventurous energy, which as well loves to play, loves to be like having fun, traveling. So actually you are exactly doing there. This is your nature, but coming from these beliefs, from your family roots, they are still in your whole system. So they affect you to really live your 3 courageously and to express your 3, what as well holds you back in your self-expression at the end. But you have that energy within you. And then when you like master that, your 4 will help you to like keep the money in and not spend it all over the place. I have as well something really interesting about your birthday, because it's the 23rd, and there as well, that's the task of bringing the mother energy and the child energy together. Like, the 23 is the nurturing energy, which you have as well in the 4, but the number 2 is a very feminine energy, which is really focused on connection, on relationships, and with the 3 you have again this playful energy, and the 3 is as well a little bit in business, so to say, a challenge, because they can get bored really easily, and they need constant stimulation, and they need constantly something new. They need a lot of freedom. They need to be able to change their mind. And if the 3 doesn't have that feeling of freedom and playfulness, they tend to procrastinate. I have as well a 3 in my life path, and I know that very well. I need multiple things I work on to keep me stimulated, first of all. And otherwise I don't do nothing, or I do like I skip the important steps or the important things. So maybe as well a question for you to write down: what is currently boring you about your project, about your work, and how can you bring in more play, pleasure and fun, which is not really common from the 9, from the family roots, where it's not really common to have play and fun and business, because it's all serious and it's all hard work. And there is a conflict with the 4, because the 4 wants to build step by step, slowly. So the 3 and the 4 as well have a little bit of conflict in itself. And the 4, their primal fear is actually as well being afraid of success or being afraid of failure. And I saw in your profile a post about failure, and I think that's as well a Virgo, somehow a Virgo topic, because I relate with that very well. But maybe looking from the failure side, from the opposite side, what is the fear of being successful? Anchor, like, try to think about like how would it feel to be really successful, and I relate with that as well. It's like weird because it makes no sense, but why is it making you afraid? Maybe it could be that you lose the love of people who are like maybe your family, like, not that they necessarily really need to do it, but it could be that they like have some judgment against you because they simply don't know it better, but you are affected by that judgment. And what did I write down? I wrote down as well, really look on the inner fight between the 3 and the 4. So the 3 is a very creative energy, and the 4, and how can you make them friends? So how can you build step by step and bring excitement into that building? And as well, what I wrote down about the 3, they are perfect storytellers. So you have the perfect ability with the 3 to touch people, because you have 2 times the 3 within your chart, like in your life path number and in your birth date. And your 9 is as well affected, because in the 9 you have 3 times the 3. So the 9 as well is an energy with a lot of thoughts, a lot of going on, like a very there is a lot of movement in you. What is brilliant, because you can, with this emotion, you can really touch people with your stories, and you can express them perfectly through writing, speaking, and you can help others to feel seen. And when you add the 2 and the 3 in your birthday together, you have the energy of the 5, and the 5 is very rebellious. So they don't do things like someone else, never. But they have a very charismatic energy, what is actually perfect as well for business, for your energy. Yes. And I'm quickly going into the self-expression topic, because there the number 1 is more needed to look at, because the number 1 is a very instinctive explorer. So the 1 loves to explore as well. They love to explore spirituality. And but for the self-expression, for them it's really important to find self-motivation within themselves. And yeah, there is a question, it's like, how can you motivate yourself and not being bored? Because as well, the 3 comes in, they don't like to be bored. So how can you constantly investigate? Like the 1 is always investigating in something new. And how can you bring that as well into your expression and allowing that more to play out? Yeah, a lot of that I already said. The 1 for them is really important. They have highly self-doubts. So they tend to be like, the 1 is a number which is very charismatic as well. And sometimes people can't understand because they have such a strong energy, but they tend to fall into holes. As high you can go, as deep you can fall down. So they have as well a lot of self-doubt, and for them it's really important to build self-esteem through expressing really their individual expression, because they have a different way of expressing themselves than others. On a big fear of the 1 is not to be loved. What's not really making it easier to express yourself, when you fear if you express yourself differently, then society is telling us how to behave, how to do things. Yeah, it's not really making it easy. But really look at your points as well for your business. What is making you different than others? What is like your unique expression, and how can you work on it step by step to step more into that? Not try to rush it, but step by step, stepping more into really that uniqueness you embody and you may be hiding from yourself or from others. I was noting down as well, you were sending me upfront, or I was making the note about sales. So I wrote a little bit from the point of view, from the numbers, about the topic of sales. Really, I think there it's really important to channel the energy of the 4, because they are perfect in sales. Really channel that business energy and do it with play and fun with the 3. Bring them together as friends, because if you don't have excitement for your own product, you have a lower energy, and you always receive that back, what energy you embody for what you do. So really bringing in that excitement, releasing step by step these beliefs around money and about how work should look like, and look as well in what are you fixed in, because the number 1 and the number 4, they tend to have a fixed mindset. So they love to hold on to things and they don't like change. The 3 loves change. So as well, channel then the 3, the change. And you have the 5 as well. 5 loves change. The 5 hates mundane things. So if you feel like, oh my God, I'm getting fixed, channel the other energies which are there and which are available, so you can play with your energies and allow yourself to find your own sales strategies. Because I know that as a struggle as well for me in my business, there are so many strategies outside in the world for business, how we should do business, how we should do online business, what works and what not. In my opinion, it is a lot about our own energy and about our own strategy. And there the numbers can really help us to create this own business strategy as well, in alignment, and not just with a step-by-step program which works for certain people, yes, but not for everyone. To the topic of making money, I already said that the fear of not being loved, which comes from the number 1, and as well maybe noting down the question, could it be that you fear the losing love from people if you are really successful? Then I'm coming back to the success topic. and allowing yourself to transform that, because it could be that a few people are leaving the field for a while if you really step into your successful self, but it doesn't mean that they leave forever, but it will show by time. And yeah, channeling for the making money, the 4, really step by step developing a strategy. And do you have any questions before I come to my last part? Because actually I have a lot of them. I'm excited. I have a few ideas for you if you would like to hear them about how you could adjust here and there a little bit for your current project.
I mean, what you're saying just is so spot on. It's really lovely to hear it framed in that way. What was very interesting is you mentioned the fear of being lost, and the fear of being, I guess, loved as well, and the fear of success. And I need to do a little bit of thinking around that. And I also want to say that that battle between seriousness and playfulness is horrendous with me. So it's just really, really very it's really deeply resonating. I guess one question around love, if that's possible. Is there anything that you can say around that?
Around relationship love. So the 4 actually, they love to be in committed partnerships, and they are really stable and nurturing partners. The challenge is a little bit the 3 and and maybe the 1, because the 3 is very playful and they don't like to commit so fast. So that could be a challenge too. And they just stay when they have this stimulation. For them, is stimulation a lot, and you can't be with someone who is boring or who maybe that struggle, that you get easily bored as well in relationships, you need as well this intellectual stimulation and adventure in your relationships. Otherwise, you're just moving on to the next thing. But if you found that person with the 4, you're very, very committed partner and very nurturing, and you would do the word for them. For the 1 is partnership as well very important, because helps a lot. Yeah. Do you see?
Sorry, Vanessa, you're breaking. The connection is breaking.
Oh, can you?
Just let me.
Am I stable again?
Much better now.
Okay, perfect.
Now
Can you?
Now you're unstable again. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I heard was that there is a dichotomy between the volatile and the committed, the freedom. So it's how to understand how I can be free in a relationship.
Yeah, and as well, when the 4 is in a relationship, they tend to be a little bit fixed on that person. Don't change so much. Then again, so it's a little bit a battlefield between the 3 and the 4 as well. The longing for partnership from the 4, and then the longing for inner freedom from the number 3. That is a little bit, I would say, the main struggle, because actually the 1, they love as well to be in relationships, but as they are having that fear of losing someone or losing love, they tend a little bit to get into the role of a people pleaser. They do then everything. You have that nurturing energy. So it could happen maybe that you feel like used by your partner, or that people are using you for your for what you give, and you don't really receive something back. The one can be as well can get dominant in relationships, but as well with the people pleasing, they could be that they fall into a victim mentality. Then when they like discover, oh, then they feel used, they are like, actually they are offering their help because they're looking for love, and then they're helping and helping and helping, and then they feel like not appreciated, and then they fall into a victimhood mentality of like, oh, that other person did all these things for me, and I'm not receiving anything back. What can help there a lot to really work on the self-esteem and work on gratefulness, work on focusing on what is there. Is the partner really nothing giving back, or am I just not seeing it? Really being honest there, or like really learning to set boundaries and to say no if you feel like, actually I can't give a lot right now, and leaning into as well to receiving, opening up to receive as well help, because the 1 and the 4 as well, they love to nurture, and then receiving help and love can be hard for them on the opposite side, and really leaning into asking as well for help others, or in a relationship, in dating, or as well in friendships, really learning how to ask and to receive.
Beautiful.
Yeah, because the 1 is as well a really radiant energy, and actually like I'm not sure, do you have like a main struggle? What would you say in dating or in love?
I think you identify that struggle of giving, and not being able to exist outside of giving.
Yeah,
that is a real struggle. I don't know how to stand still and to be quiet in my relationships, in a sense where I always have to work. I don't see my value in just being in the room.
yeah.
A lot of people tell me that they know when I'm around because they can feel my energy, and it's something that I find like I still don't understand that. And it's really, it's just about what's my value if I don't teach? What's my value if I don't help? What's my value if I just sit here? Like as you say, it's just boring. I need to be doing something. I need to have a conversation. I need to be helping. I need to, like, there needs to be something happening. Me just being there, it's just, I can't, like, I lose every sense of purpose. And it's invisibility. It equals to me to invisibility, and I have a big thing about being invisible, being small. You know, I'm small. People don't see me, so it feels really weird. It's like. It's like I don't understand what to do with myself. I really do not understand what to do with myself if I'm not doing something.
Yeah, that is a big thing. I think that's for from like the numbers, that for sure for the 1 and the 4, like a big thing. And as well with the 9, this restlessness in the mind as well in the body is a big thing. And yeah, really learning that your energy is as well a gift for others. Yeah. That you actually don't need to do much or anything, and just being present, and that's sometimes even more valuable. Just like, this is what I really learned through my phase of grieving when my father died, that that's the most valuable gift as well, if someone just can be there without saying nothing, without judgment, without giving it advice, without like expecting something, without trying to have a conversation. And there I learned that this is so valuable, when someone just can be there. Yeah
I find it hard. And now that I had my motorbike accident and I injured my foot, and yesterday I went to the hospital and they told me do nothing for 6 weeks. And I just, like, this is crazy for me. I don't know how the hell I'm going to be able to do nothing for 6 weeks. And it's full of fears. All my fears are like, I'm going to put on weight. My muscles are not, I'm not going to be strong. I need to exercise and find a way that I can exercise without using my foot. I canceled my birthday party because I don't want to be in a situation where I'm sitting at my birthday party. I want to be able to dance. I want to, it's kind of, whoa. So now I'm going to have to spend 6 weeks being spiritual. And I can tell you, like, the fear is coming through. Oh my God, I'm going to have to be spiritual, and it's like,
life always gives us what we need and what we are like not necessarily want to do. And they're like, a really good question is like, what does this situation is bringing me a gift? And I think you already know it, to learn how to be present and still. But I can feel you totally that it is a big like fear, and that it's like as well okay to be fear. Like, I'm not a fan of saying like, yeah, you just need to let go of that fear. No, the fear will be there. It's just like what you decide to do with that fear. You see the fear and then you make a choice of what you do. And as you are having the 3 energy, this creative energy, you will find creative ways to make that time to your time, and to really look at yourself and to look at what you can learn from this, and as well find this balance. And maybe your 3 has been a little bit overactive, so it's time to channel more energy.
I mean, it's been overactive for 51 freaking years,
Now it's saying you're in Bali. It's time for a break. It's time to rest. What as well comes back, because right now really our old beliefs are showing up to the surface. What as well brings us back to your roots. Now you're forced to do nothing, but how should you work as well with doing nothing? How should you receive money or sales with doing nothing? Like, yeah, leaning really into that beauty. Yeah.
Brilliant. Give me some tips now. You told me you had strategies for
that you have something to work on. Yeah, actually, I'm super excited for that part. Because I love what you do, and I love that you are inspiring women to travel alone. Because I know the first time when I went traveling on my own, I was like, as well scared. I didn't know how it works. I was afraid, like, oh my God, how will it be in a different country? First time I flew to Mexico actually on my first solo travels, but I met up with a group there. Like, it was a group of people who travel together. So I was like, oh yeah, maybe that's better for the beginning. Then I quickly realized, oh, that group wasn't actually necessarily needed, because it's super easy to make connections. But I needed that first step to get out of my comfort zone and to like do that, because before that I was like holding myself back. So I really know that struggle, and this is why I love what you do, because I needed someone who gives me that trust to travel. So first of all, I really love that. What I could see as we are right now moving still through a global pandemic, I would suggest adjust a little bit your messaging and bring it to the current situation and use that for you, because there is a lot of mistrust towards travel right now. There is a lot of judgment for people who travel, and there is a lot of confusion. Which countries can I go? Then there are rumors, things which are not true. Like, I mean, I just traveled from Mexico to Colombia. I didn't even needed a COVID test to enter the country. But then there are people, oh yeah, that's not possible. You can't travel. Like, you don't come back into a country. So using these like rumors and what I did as well, I started traveling this year in January on my own. And there I got the idea, because what I did before I went to Mexico, because it was one of the countries which been open and I wanted to go back anyways there. I love Mexico. What I did, I contacted a local friend to really ask him, how safe is it? So, but what can you do when you don't have a local friend? So there you come and play. You can be kind of the local friend. But I had the idea, if you are linking yourself, like this is not really clear on the website right now, so maybe you already do that, but it would be a brilliant point to bring on the website as well, or in your promotion, to connect with women who are currently traveling solo and who are in different countries which are right now able to travel at. And to really give women the benefit, like why should they come to your workshop? Because you have the information, which country is open, how to enter which country, what do you need to consider right now in these times for traveling. And you can create there, like I had the idea, like create really a network of women who are working online, who are traveling on their own, speak with them. And as well ask them, hey, would you be open to be like maybe a contact point for women who come to my workshop, so I can give out your contact. The value you give, then if you give their contact out, they will go to their socials, they will go to their IG, they will go to their YouTube channels, they will see their offers as well. So they have a benefit from the connection as well. It's not just you giving out valuable information right now. And what's always nice to have, like when you go to a country, to have actually a person there who, you can link them. You can be really the link between that woman who are traveling alone, and they can as well talk about different fears. And I had another idea, like really creating these cross promotions, but as like really I saw the 23, your birth date, you're really a storyteller, and maybe considering starting a podcast about it, where you actually build through that podcast your network with these women in different countries. So you have like two benefits for yourself. You're using podcast as your voice, and you are building connections all over the world, and you're giving value to the woman.
Hello, Vanessa. I came to your reading thinking, okay, this is going to be interesting. And I've done that kind of stuff on that you see that comes digitally, like enter your numbers, on the internet, and then it calculates everything and it tells you stuff. And And it gives you reports that are interesting, they're fascinating, and you're thinking, wow, this is crazy. These people don't know me, but there are certain things. What you are expressing, what you've just said, is just really amazing, and it is so aligned, because I have been really hesitating to, but yet still planning, but of course overthinking. Yes, launching a clubhouse and a podcast, which would be called World Travels around Women, or Travels Around Women, where I would speak to a woman in every single country, and visit virtually during the podcast every country in the world, and then dig into the life of that woman, what got her there, or if she's a local woman, what's her story, and what's her wisdom, and also for her to then become that local contact that other women can go to. And I wanted to do it around stories of courage, because I'm predominantly about courage and resilience. And so what you've just said is just so spot on. It's giving me the almost the authorization, the kind of, when you need to have almost even when you listen to your intuition and have that fear that comes up, but it's kind of like, oh, this person doesn't know anything about me, yes, but they're telling me that this is what I should be doing. So somehow it feels like it's almost like, like it's written, that it's written somewhere. It's like when you do horoscope and then someone has a horoscope reading of your character, and it's like, oh my God, it's actually written somewhere that I'm supposed to be like this. Yeah. So it really is very, very powerful. Yeah.
And I think that's really your major strength, like the storytelling. Really, you're curious, you're interesting, and this can be your spark. This can be like, because it's always something new contexts, new women, different perspectives, and really addressing the fears, like what fears did this woman had in the beginning before starting traveling? How did they start their journey? And this can be like so inspiring, because I feel like, especially when I speak with my German friends, like they like, no, traveling is not possible right now, and like really like bringing in that clarity for women. And because news are not really trustful anymore these days, and you can be the news center for.
No, that is the thing.
And right now, like, when I'm honest, when I see your website, I'm like, oh yeah, is that actually true? So really addressing that problem of which is there right now with traveling, in addition to the other fears. And like, it's just a truth that we are globally right now really affected by the energy of fear. It has like such a big impact on all of us. We pick up on that energy like tremendously, and I think that can really help a lot. But the desire for travel is there for sure, and that desire for freedom, and you can be really as well their permission slip to travel on their own in a global pandemic. You can be that like connection point for them. And as well, like when you like, and I'm already having 2 podcasts, and I'm like, right now I think I'm going to start as well my own podcast, because I just love it. I love this conversation. I started one with my mom together about the topic of death, and it's so interesting. I love to learn from others, and hearing their experiences. And I love to listen to podcasts personally as well. So I'm like convinced that you get from that podcast so much information for actually your workshop, what is really needed. And then if you gather that information, I had another idea, you could like make it can be like a small PDF which you give out for free to women as a small guide to their first solo travels, maybe addressing there as well the biggest fears you were moving through, what helped you to move through that fear, what as well made you go like making the decision of traveling on your own. And when you had all these or when you are having all these talks with other women talking about their fears, you have like a big portfolio where you can like create like simply like a small PDF with as well some hacks, what to do best, where to get money in a new country, and how to get information right now in a global pandemic, like how can I make contacts with others, and maybe as well putting there in a list of women which are saying, oh yeah, I would love to be on your list as a contact person. I love as well network, and it's then a co-creation, because they will have as well a benefit of like just increasing their reach and increasing their presence online and then as a real person. Because like what I learned through traveling as well, I love to share my knowledge. When someone comes new here, I meet someone and I already know more, I love to pass on information.
That's beautiful, because a couple of months, a few months ago, I had the idea of compiling a list of women guides in every single destination and local women guiding, because for me, it's ridiculous. We need to, we need to book experiences through women, not through men. Because the connection is just not the same. The storytelling from a woman is completely different. So I can definitely do that, because I have such a massive network as a international consultant. It's easy for me to create something like that and to come up with one woman in every single country in the world and have a chat with every single one.
I absolutely love that, because what I see as well, traveling as I don't like to call myself digital nomad, but it's the most common name. Yeah. But then often what I see, we don't go out of our digital nomad bubble. We are just connecting with expats, but making that local connections and really getting to know the culture. And there, you have a major point where you can position yourself in a unique way, because you're not just offering expat contacts, but offering as well local contacts and getting really to know the culture and bringing in there what it brought for you to really connect with different cultures and to connect with different women in different cultures, what's their way of being raised, what's their way of the family structures, how do these women feel in their families, what are their struggles in their culture. I absolutely love that. And it's amazing that you already have these contacts and you can use them for creating something beautiful for other women for once. And as well, you support as well these women in their self-expression. So you're basically as well doing something selfless, but as well you help yourself and your self-expression too.
Wow.
And
I have to tell you, I wasn't.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting such a practical outcome to what you've shared. Yes, and that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I love to make it practical, because like, what does all that knowledge about the numbers and whatever needs if you don't have a practical approach? Like, I'm a very practical person. Even I love spirituality. I love to make it easy. I love to bring it like into a sense where we really can use it, and not having like an abstract picture of ourselves, but giving like really tips about what is needed right now. And I got like suddenly so inspired. I was looking into your numbers, and I was like, wow, all these ideas came in. And like, this is as well for you like a point of proof as well. You took on my gift. I was sending out a gift for you, and you were open to receive that gift. And that is maybe as well a point of proof for you to open up more for receiving the gifts which are there. And you're the first woman booking in for that free reading I offered from that workshop. So like, it's not natural that like you give out something as a gift and not everyone is ready to receive. And like, it makes me really happy. And yeah,
that's okay. That's really crazy to me, because I guess I'm really grateful to you for sharing that, because I thought that people were rejecting me, but what you're telling me is that they're not rejecting me. They're just really rejecting the idea of receiving free gifts to a level, and I guess we're going back to fear. And I'm absolutely flabbergasted at what you're telling me, because I thought, really honestly, that I was the least spiritual person in the crowd of women that, that attended, the crowd of people that attended. I thought everyone automatically booked a free, like immediately, because I really thought like, okay, I'm the most pragmatic, like I'm the most German out of all of them in a way. Yeah. And I'm just really surprised, but that gives me such a better understanding of what's happening. And wow, that's nuts to me. Okay.
Yeah, like, and it's a beautiful thing as well to see that, like, yeah, maybe they're like already like more into spirituality. Maybe this is why they're less interested, or like but my personal feeling is like everyone is just busy. And actually for me, there's a big fear about like fear of being really successful, even like with our spiritual tools, like being really successful. Actually, like, this was so inspiring for me to read, and I will go through that question for me. I will need some time as well to work with that question, because it's so powerful. And I think that's as well a big reason when we give something out for free, that not everyone is ready to receive it. Not to forget that. And then as well, coming back, like sometimes we receive when we put a price on it. Like sometimes it's like, oh, I get something for free. What is wrong with that? Like, if there's something hidden, we have sometimes this mentality as well in our belief system.
That is so true. In sales, it is so true, because they always say that people only value the things that they pay for, which is really ridiculous, because you don't pay for a husband, you don't pay for a child, but you value them. But people totally detach themselves for that. And I just, can I give you a suggestion?
Yeah.
It's so obvious to me after, thank you. It's so obvious to me after having had this exchange with you, that this practical side of you, this pragmatic German stuff, needs to be more present in your communication, in your own communication, because it doesn't, spirituality is something that frightens a lot of women that are in their masculine. And this mix that you have between spiritual but also like practical, which I know we have to speak into stereotype, because this is what sells, and it's this thing about, hey, I'm spiritual, but I'm super practical. And in our session, I'll give you 3 or 5 action steps that you can take right now that are practical. And that's very powerful, because it gives you kudos, It's like, this is the difference between me having a conversation with you and me going on a numerology site on the internet, yes, and then having just a report. And I don't get that. And that's just that's really, really cool.
Thank you.
Put that out, because it's really obvious that your value is in transforming the knowledge into practical actions.
Wow. Thank you. And exactly, that is my life path. You basically just confirmed me my life path, because I'm a life path 7, and this is my gift, like putting spirituality down to earth. And I was rejecting my gift a lot as well. I was actually was as well a test for me, because I'm normally not doing numerology readings, but I was preparing yours, and I got so excited. I was like, oh my God, I love to do it, especially with it business approach. And I was like, I love business and I love to create their creative solutions, and bringing these two things together, that's as well right now a big gift for me, what you are saying.
So what's obvious to me is that you really need to look into serving spiritual businesses, because there are so many women out there that are spiritual and own businesses and are totally, they really suck at business, because they're so much aligned with their spirituality, and they're all little fairies. And it's really great to be a little fairy, but then they so struggle to make money out of it. And you entering from a numerology perspective is really it's really important. And I also sense intuitively that really your partnership with Pernell is very much about that as well. I feel that his energy is very much more kind of grounded and realistic when it comes to business, and in putting you out to be more of your businesswoman. That's what I get from just feeling and speaking about that, and the little bit that I can feel and I can know about, from the two of you.
Yeah, he helps me a lot with with my self-expression, to be honest, and to really embrace my spiritual side, but as well the business side. And on the other way around, I support him a lot in giving him these business strategies and advices, as well, his meditation series and stuff. I have these ideas, and he just does them, and that's so magical for me as well, to see that he leans into what I give him as an advice, what people really need. And there, through our partnership, I really recognize how I can bring spiritually good into the container for others.
Okay, so